Yes, people, big up yourselves. I hope everyone's good. We are back with another one. And as you've probably seen by the title of the video, today I just want to touch on the topic, are expensive vapes actually worth the money? Like, is it worth spending that extra bit of money? Now, I've tried a hell of a lot of vapes compared to when I first got on this vaping journey 10 years ago. I tried the Stores and Bickle Plenty and I basically was like, nah, I don't like vaping. I think it's dead. I'm going back to smoking, and I did that for years and years and years. Since then, as you may know, I've changed my opinion on vaping. I only solely vape now. I don't smoke at all. I went from smoking with tobacco to smoking without to then just vaping, and genuinely it's changed my life. It's changed my outlook on the plant itself, and the biggest thing it's done is change my finances. How much money I would spend on flour, sorry, compared to now, it has dropped down phenomenally, and most of that is down to vaping. However, that being said, without a premium vape, like a higher end vape, unfortunately, you're just not going to get the same sort of performance. You're not going to get the same sort of production of vapor. If flavor is important to you, you're not going to get that. But that being said, when I say expensive vapes, right, I think there's two categories, and I didn't know about this when I first got in vaping, but you've got your battery vaporizers and your battery-free manual vaporizers, right? And obviously, if something's like a new age computer with sensors and batteries and circuit boards and chips and all this stuff in it, it's going to cost a lot more than a manual vaporizer, which is something you can heat up with a flame and vaporize your meds. So something that's expensive, quote unquote, in a battery vape is probably, say, 250, 300 plus. But something that's expensive in a manual vape is probably the region of like 150, something like that, right? Maybe a bit more. Now, what I would say is I've tried different vapes at different ends of the market, different, battery powered, non-battery powered, expensive and cheap. And hearing a lot of your guys' experience as well on this, I 100% think it's worth spending the money to get something that's in the premium tier. The whole buy cheap, buy twice, you get what you pay for, like all these things we hear and parrot to each other over the years for various different things. It's the same with vapes, mate. It's the same with vapes. If you're going to buy something that's at the entry level budget price, expect to get that sort of performance. And I'd say at that point, like, say for example, for me, when I first started out, I wanted a vape and I wanted it to be discreet somewhat. I wanted it to be battery powered, and I wanted to spend as minimal as possible, but I wanted to get something good that could produce good flavor and all these things. I did so much research. I've gone through this whole bit on another video, so I won't go too deep in it. But essentially, I went for the X-Max V3 Pro. It was about 120 quid with the bits. I think the vape itself was like 79 quid, but I got a few adapters and a few things that people recommended to get with it. And it was all right. It was all right, but genuinely, I wouldn't say as far as I've wasted my money, because I did manage to sell it on. That being said, I could have just put the money straight into a better device, or I could have saved it, if you like, and then added to it over time and got a better device. That being said, the manual vapes, I could have probably just got a mid to premium tier manual vape that done a better job than that, honestly. It's a tricky one. But actually spending that type of money on something when you've never used one before is very difficult to do. And I understand that fully. That's why I went the way I did. And eventually, I've tried a lot of vapes now, I've got my preferences, but I'll be honest with you in saying it's the premium ended stuff where my preferences lie. Now, that being said, there's a lot to be said between, there's two vapes that are 350 quid. They can both be brilliant, but one's better at this and one's better at this. Like, one's way more portable and easy to use, and one produces way better flavor, but it's a bit more of a mess about. There's a learning curve. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot to be said for stuff like that. But what I'd say is, if you really are trying to get on the vape side of things, there's a lot to consider, and I will go through a whole video and, trying to find the best vape for you. But I want to just speak about, is it worth spending? Because I just think it's a question people ask all the time. are expensive vapes worth it? Yes. That's what I'd say. Yes, they are. If you're going to go and you're saying I've got a budget of 150, I would honestly recommend you go and get a high-end premium manual battery-free vape, just because you're going to get so much more of an experience out of that, and you're going to learn a lot more, and you're going to enjoy it a lot more than if you was to buy something that was mid to low tier in your battery powered. You're way better off getting a premium vape, an expensive vape. And I know it probably sounds like it goes without saying, but it doesn't. Like, I had these questions when I first started, and I wish somebody had told me this, because I probably would have found manual vapes way sooner than I did. But instead, you know, it's took me going through the journey that I've been on to land and find, you know what, actually, these manual vapes, they hit different. They hit different, especially the premium ones. They are unbelievable. And each to their own. Not everyone wants a manual vape, I get it. But genuinely, either if you've only got a certain budget, either save for longer and get yourself something in that more expensive price bracket, in that premium price range, or don't, and keep that money and put it towards a premium manual vape. You know, there's tons of options out there. I've done a review on a couple of manual vapes, higher end ones. You've got the DynaVap Vong X. I've done the Inhale Lotus, and there will be a review coming for the Inhale Vatman Click as well. All brilliant vapes, and they're all sort of hundreds, 150 roughly. So you know, you don't have to break the bank, but you'll get a premium experience, and you'll enjoy each medication session, as opposed to spending that same budget on a battery powered vape and expecting to get a premium level of an experience. It's just not going to happen, mate. It is not going to happen. You know, like if you were, and I always go back to cars sometimes, but if you was to buy like a top end, how can I compare it? I'm trying to think now. Like, say if you were talking like a Merc or an Audi or something like that, right? And you bought the entry spec level. Compare that to, let's say, it's not quite apples for oranges, but you know what I'm saying. If you was to buy like a cheaper brand of car, there's nothing wrong with other cheaper brands of cars, but like a Honda, for example, and you was to get a top tier premium level Honda, and then put it against an entry level, budget level, you know, the cheapest possible Audi, Merc, whatever it may be, you're going to get completely different experiences. Like, one of them is going to be phenomenally decked out and doing the job like you won't believe, and it's going to be at a low price for relative to the market. One of them is going to be an underwhelming experience, and you'll be sat there in your Merc driving around thinking, oh, this is a bit plasticky and no screen, or, you know what I mean? All these things, right? And I think it's the same with your vapes. If you're going for them, if you want to get the best vape you can, you need to go at the higher end price bracket of the category of vapes you're looking at. Now, there's so many different categories, but I've just kind of generalized them under battery powered and manual. There's a lot more options than that. You know, you've got your portable, you've got your desktops. There's so many other options. I will go through them in another video, but I just wanted to get on here and just answer the question that people ask all the time. Is it worth it to buy an expensive vape? Are expensive vapes worth it? I would say yes, but expensive is relative to what it is you're looking at. Think about that when you're looking at buying a vape. Do your research. Obviously, don't listen to everything everyone says online. One person saying this is the best vape ever, another person saying this one's the best ever. Well, it's all opinion, innit? We all have opinions, we all have experiences, and all we can do is share them with other people and let other people make their own. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, people. It's just a quick one. I just wanted to touch on that and let you know what I thought. Basically, don't cheap out, otherwise you'll end up, you know, the whole buy cheap, buy twice. You'll end up getting something different. You won't be happy with what you purchased, and you'll be like, oh, I just wasted money there. You know, like we're saying with them car situation, if you want one type of thing, get the best version of it you can. But if you're trying to squeeze into something that you can't quite afford and you get the stripped down most budget version of it, you ain't going to be happy. You ain't going to be happy. So in that instance, change what you're looking for or save up a bit more money. The expensive stuff is worth it. In whatever bracket or category you go into, there's a reason that stuff's higher priced, is because it's a better vape, it's a better experience, and it's going to do what you're hoping it's going to do, to a way better standard. Obviously there's loads of other intricacies and stuff in between. Like I say, I'll do another video at some point and we'll talk about, you know, finding the best vape for you. But I just wanted to hop on here, just quickly say this, explain my answer on this question, because I get it all the time. If you've gotten up to this point in the video, people, drop the 420s in the chat below. Drop your comments in, let other people know, what do you think on what's your experience and your opinion on these more expensive vapes? Do you think it's worth it? Let me know. Let me know below, yes or no. It'd be very interesting to know. And until next time, people, I will see you on the next one. Take care, big love, peace.